Welcome back, students. In the previous lectures, we have discussed the prerequisite topics for today's lecture, that is a topic that is variables. So before this, we have discussed keywords, identifiers and different types of data, that is the data types, and also we have discussed built-in and user-defined data types. So now let us come to variables. So what are variables? A variable is a simple name used to store the value of a specific data type in computer memory. In VB.NET, each variable has a particular data type that determines the size, range, and fixed space in computer memory. So in short, we can say that a variable is nothing but the name given to a particular storage location for which we use to store data. So with the help of a variable, we can perform several operations and manipulate data values. So the four topics that we will be discussing in this lecture today are variable declaration, variable initialization, accepting user values, L value and R value, and as usual we will round up with a program example at the end. So variable declaration. So in VB.NET, variable declaration is done by using the dim statement, as you have seen previously. So the dim statement is used for variable declaration and storage allocation of one or more variables. The dim statement is used at module, class, structure, procedure or block level. So the dim statement can be used in various levels. The syntax of the dim statement is dim variable name as defined data type, where dim is used to declare and allocate the space for one or more variables in memory. Variable name defines the name of the variable to store the values. As is a keyword that allows you to define the data type in the declaration statement, and data type defines the data type that allows variable to store data types such as char, string, integer, decimal, long, etc. So let us look at some valid variable declarations. So dim student role as integer, so this is a valid declaration. Dim student name as string, dim salary as double, dim count1, count2 as integer. So you can declare multiple variables using this way by giving a comma between the different variables. Dim flag as boolean, dim last time, next time as date. So these are all examples of valid variable declarations. Now let's come to variable initialization. Initializing a variable means assigning a value to the variable. So it's very simple. So just giving a value to a variable, that is called as initialization. So the syntax is variable name equal to value. For example, first of all, you declare the variable. Before initializing, you need to declare the variable first. So you can do it as dim pi as double. So the variable here is pi and is a double data type. So in the next line, you are going to initialize the variable. So pi equal to 3.14159. So now you have stored the value of 3.14159 to pi. You can also initialize a variable at the time of declaration as follows. So dim student roll number equal to 100. So in this case, in this line, you are initializing at the time of declaration itself. So you are doing two things at the same time. So dim student role as integer equal to 100, dim student name as string equal to Ram Singh. Okay. So you are combining these two in the same line. Next we have accepting user values. In VB.NET, the console class provides the readline function in the system namespace. So it is used to take input from the user and assign a value to a variable. So in VB.NET, we take input from the user using readline function. So for example, you have this dim name as string. So name is a string variable, name equal to console.readLine. So this line will take the input from the user and then store it to the variable name. Or you can also use the console.readLine statement without the quotes, without the parenthesis. Next we have L value and R value. So VB.NET expressions are of two types, L value and R value. So let's look at what they are. So L value is an expression that refers to a memory location for storing the address of a variable. So an L value is a variable that can appear to the left or right of the assignment operator to hold values. So now let's look at R value. R value is an expression that is used to store a value in some address of memory. And R value can appear only on the right hand side because it is a value of the variable. So variables are L values, and they may appear on the left hand side of an assignment. Numeric literals, okay, we will discuss literals in the next lecture. Numeric literals are R values and so may not be assigned and cannot appear on the left hand side. So let's have a look at the following example. So let us suppose, consider this statement dim x as integer. So let's say, so we have declared a variable x as integer and then initialize it to 20, equal to 20. So on the left hand, if it is a variable, then you can place it on the left hand side. Alright, so dim x as integer equal to 20 on the left hand side of this equal to operator or assignment operator. So in this case, this is a valid statement because in this case you are storing the value of 20 to x. Alright, so if you had another variable as y, you could also write y equal to x. But the following is not a valid statement and would generate a compile time error. Okay, but this is not valid, the last line, 20 equal to x, because 20 is a literal. It is a numeric literal, or you can say it's a constant. So this cannot be placed on the left hand side of an assignment operator. It can only be placed on the right hand side, and R value can only be placed on the right hand side. L value can appear both on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Okay, but on the R value can only appear on the left hand side. R value can only appear on the right hand side. It cannot appear on the left hand side of an assignment operator. Now let us look at an example program. So inside this module, inside the main function, first of all we are going to declare some variables. So we declared three variables: dim name as string, dim role as integer, and dim course name as string. So we have declared three variables here. After that, now we are going to initialize one of the variables. So for this we are going to use variable initialization. This single quote is, as I have mentioned before, this is a comment. So course name equal to VB.NET. So this is a string, so it will take some string arguments. It can store string data. So course name, for this course name you are storing the string data VB.NET. Now for the other two variables, now we are going to take user input. So to take the user input, first of all we prompt the user to enter something. So first we ask the user to enter the name, and when the user types the name, that is taken for that is read from the console using this console.readLine method and then stored in the name variable. Similarly, you enter ask the roll number from the user enters the number, and then it is stored in the role variable. Continuing the program, so now we display the output. So we just give a single blank line before the output to be displayed. So here this is the main display line, so we display it as entered name is, this is the first argument, entered roll number is this, second argument, course name is this, third argument. So the three arguments are name, role and course name. So these three arguments will be printed using this command. After this we give another blank space. Now we are going to display in another way. So this is the usual way that we have been following this displaying so far. We display everything in a single line. Suppose we want to display the information in separate lines using the same console.writeLine. So how do we do that? So for that you just type like this, console.writeLine, entered name is this. Okay, so up to here this is same as the previous one, but after this you just press the enter key, go to and then keep typing. Entered roll number is this. Okay, and then after this again press the enter key, then course name is this. So we have finished the printing statement. After that give the arguments, name, role and course name. After that ask read any key from the user to close the program and then end the program. So now let us copy this and then let us try out this program on the VB.NET software. We go to file, new project, .NET framework project. This is variable demo, create. Okay, so the first part we have copied, second part also will copy. Okay, so we have copied the full program. So this is how the program is. So we will save it, build the project. Okay, build has succeeded, and then we finally run it. Enter name, suppose ABC, F, enter roll number 10. Okay, so now here you see two output formats. The first output is like this, everything is in a same line, right? And then the second output is using the the other format that I've shown you. So this is you are printing the different information on different lines. So name is this, roll number is this, course name is this. So yeah, this was the output that we just saw. So that is all for variables. So in the next class, in the next lecture, we'll talk about constants.